Hello again, and welcome back to Hampton Lake Homestead. It's been 1 week since I planted the corn, and I wanted to give a quick update on how it's growing. Also, today I'll be starting both squash and zucchini in the beds, so stay tuned. Wanted to do a quick update on my three sisters beds, starting with this first bed where I planted by leaving most of the leaves in place. Again, I'm having to come out and remove leaves nearly every day. This is where I just removed some, and then this right beside it is where I haven't yet. That's the difference. That's after just 1 or 2 days after removing them. It did look like this, and now it's already covered up again. But I did want to point out, walking down along here, I am already seeing some pretty good germination rates, despite having some leaves over them. There are others, some of them are really hard to see, but I'll try to show a few that can show up in the video. There's one. Now, I probably planted these a little too early. We're still seeing some cool nights, and in fact, the next 2 nights, we're expecting 38 degrees here, which is really too cool for corn. So what I decided to do, since I was seeing such good germination rates, even with these leaves covering the seeds, I decided to just leave these in place to get a little bit of extra insulation for these next 2 nights. And because these are already coming up despite the leaves covering them. And then now the second bed, this is the one that I pulled the leaves much further out of the way, but I still planted by planting 1 seed per each foot. Germination rates are at least probably as good as the first bed. I'm not going to walk all the way along here for time's sake, but I am seeing a fair number that are coming up along here. And then the third bed, this is the one that I used the earthquake planter on and really moved the leaves out of the way pretty aggressively. Now these probably ended up being planted shallower, but very high germination rate so far along here. And again, this just may be a depth issue, but there are several along here that are already coming up. Now, as I said, the temperatures have been probably a little too low, especially at night, to be good for corn. And as I mentioned in the last video, I did some starts inside my greenhouse. I want to show the difference between having a controlled environment with direct light and these plants that are out here exposed to the elements and to the cold. All right, here we are inside my grow light shelves, and I did one flat with corn so that I would have some replacements for any that didn't come up, but it's pretty obvious the difference. In this controlled environment, these just came up like crazy. Also today, I'm going to start my zucchini and squash. I have 2 different types here. One is the zucchini, which is an heirloom variety from Italy. The other is a early prolific straight neck yellow squash. I'm going to plant one of each today, and typically we'll stagger these a week or 2 apart so that I have them growing within my beds at different time intervals. Now, starting with the zucchini, I plant it just like I do the corn. I just lay it down on the soil and then push it into a depth of 1 inch, which is what is called for on the seed packet, and then just lightly cover it. And then I'll do the same for the squash. Well, after just 1 week, it looks like we're off to a great start. Hopefully in another week or 2, I'll be saying the same thing about the squash and the zucchini. That's all for today. Thanks again for watching.